Welcome to the overview of our final writing project, a surprising expository essay. So if we look at the narrative arc or story of this semester, it's all about learning who we are as writers at this point in our education, how writing happens, how we communicate through writing. And so our first writing project was that literacy narrative essay where we examined our history as writers and as readers and the experiences that we've had for good and for bad, and how those experiences continue to whisper in our ears and influence our attitudes today. And then we went into our writing project 2, where we analyzed writing choices. We looked at the choice that authors make to persuade, kind of isolated it so we can see what happens in writing and the powerful effects that writing has and persuasion has on a reader, and the powerful position a writer has in influencing their audience and persuading them of their ideas. And so our final writing project then is going to examine how do we take an idea, take information that we have, and use those rhetorical skills and rhetorical tools to then share that with an audience to inform them. And so the course description of English 101 is that we focus on expository writing. That's informational writing and writing to simply inform. And so our final project is going to be an expository or informational essay. And I mentioned right here, I describe it as surprising because what I'm hoping, what I'm inviting you all to do is to think of a common topic. So nothing outlandish, nothing that you have to discover, that you have to present that blows people's mind, but look at a common topic. You can even look at your day-to-day activities or your hobbies, something associated with a major or an interest that you have. And I hope you see that even in the most common things that we engage in, there's a lot of surprising information that we might not be aware of. And so when I say surprising, I don't mean, wow, that's amazing. It's just going to be something that people might not know about. It can be part of a history of a sport, or it can be something that happens to our bodies during, some kind of activity that we have, like sleeping or eating or something like that. But think of a common topic so it doesn't have to be outlandish. And then we're going to do some research on that topic and look for something interesting to share with our audience, to inform our audience about. And right down here, I mentioned synthesis. Be sure you read over this overview very carefully and several times over the next few weeks. But a synthesis is simply going to be, we are going to go out and find sources where experts have shared information on this topic. And then we're going to bring those sources together into an essay that we use to inform our audience. So that bringing together is called synthesis, synthesizing, bringing together, bringing separate things together into a new whole. And so I'm sharing that word here simply because you're going to come across it several times, over the course of your education, and I just want you to know what it is. It sounds a lot more complex than it is. So if you look at the requirements for this essay, we're going to be researching. There's 2 sections. First, we're going to focus on research, finding 4 credible sources where experts, credible experts, have written about this topic. At least 2 of these sources have to come from the Buxton Library online, with one of them being a reference source. So a reference source is like an encyclopedia or a dictionary, something that informs. And you'll need that to be able to define this topic for your audience, because we need to kind of lay a solid groundwork of information on our topic and share that with our reader before we can then share something new or surprising or unfamiliar with them. Okay, so that's going to be the research. And we have a research project report that's going to be due here on the 25th. And then we're going to turn to our writing. And how do we write this up? And we'll have some activities over the course of the next couple weeks. It helps us organize and write this, but make sure that you don't wait until all of those weekly assignment posts are finished before you start writing. When we get an assignment, we start writing notes and ideas right away as we go through the next few weeks. But this essay is going to have an introduction. We'll talk about expository thesis statements. You're not making an argument that includes an opinion, but it will include a thesis statement that tells your audience exactly that key point that you're going to explain in the essay. It's going to be a synthesis of the research in the body, and then a conclusion, which oftentimes gets overlooked, but is one of the most important parts of the essay. All right, look at the due dates. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk later.